Welcome to the Bitching Dead. We're your hosts, Fareed and Tara. We're a webcast from the minds at the geeky area, and we're here to bitch about stuff and things because somebody has to do it. If you haven't seen episodes 9 and 10 of The Walking Dead season 11, please turn back now. We are not responsible for any spoilers you hear. We did warn you.
Please remember that this is recorded live, so we aren't exactly sure what's going to happen. Please forgive us for any technical difficulties or accidental or intentional swears. You can join the conversation with the hashtag #TheBitchingDead. Also, we would like to remind all of you that the views expressed on the webcast are those of the hosts as individuals, and they do not necessarily represent the geekery or the webcast itself as a whole.
Okay, so we have news
Yeah, we finally actually have news.
about The Walking Dead, not about its 859 spinoffs. Oh, wait, never mind.
Okay, so we got news about the spin-off, and yeah, did you read the article?
Which one? It's
The
been a bit.
casting, yeah, the casting article. Because actually, it
I
turns
think I
out,
did, but it's been a bit.
yeah, because it turns out that the spin-off that they're doing is Tales of the Walking Dead.
Uh-oh. We have a frozen Farid. Oh no. I'm alone and I don't know about the news. Please hold for technical difficulties. Okay, I hear you. Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay.
I lost you for a minute. The last thing was like you started talking about the news is that it's called Tales of the Walking Dead.
Yeah, the Tales of the Walking Dead, Tales of the. I don't have the cast written down. I should have, but okay. So the cast is they actually got people in this, but then again, doing one episode isn't that much of a commitment, so they can get like better talent. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So the Tales of the Walking Dead, it's going to be a six-part anthology spin-off, and the cast includes. Let's see. La 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 la. Where's the cost list?
We should have
I
been more
actually,
prepared. We've had like
I
18 months or something.
we should have, but then again, it's a Walking Dead. Okay, so the cost. Okay, so the cost is Terry Crews
Okay,
for
yeah,
some
that
reason.
okay, yeah, that was the one that I remember. Now that you said it, and gosh, I know we talked about this just like last week or something, but it's been a week, so
So yeah, Terry Crews for some reason. I mean, he can basically punch zombies away, right? He's huge.
yeah. I mean, I love Terry Crews, so I'm excited about that at the very least.
Maybe the tone will be different. They might end up giving us a more comedy-centric Walking Dead episode with Terry Crews. Who knows? Because there were rumors that they might end up doing a musical episode as well.
A musical episode.
Hmm.
I'm sorry, I that was like a dumbfounded pause because what? Why?
Yeah, basically, in the six-part series, if it becomes successful, they might end up experimenting with different genres.
This is not this is not a musical. Okay. You do you, Walking Dead. You do you, I guess.
Okay, so yeah, okay, so we have Terry Crews, we have Olivia Munn,
Okay.
an actual big screen actress.
Mhm.
Then we have Daniela Pineda, who was in that show that got canceled on Netflix, Cowboy Bebop.
Okay.
And then we have someone called Anthony Edwards. I don't know him. Parker Posey.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And Jillian Bell. I don't know. Yeah, basically named people and people who don't we don't necessarily know. And also Sonequa Martin Green, who played, who was she? Abraham's,
Sasha.
yeah,
Sasha.
Sasha. She has expressed interest in coming back because they can do prequel stories, and
Right.
they can jump into the future and all of that stuff. They can do a lot with this series.
Well, and I know that Becca's not here to push the hopeful
Beth,
route
yeah.
that Beth is gonna be on it. But I'll do it for her. Maybe Beth will
Mhm.
come back.
Because there is a rumor that this series will also include old characters from The Walking Dead. We
Right,
don't know
right.
who, but there will be familiar faces.
And speaking of familiar faces, Rick has been seen palling around with Norman Reedus.
Hmm. Hmm.
So yeah, in it was it in Atlanta for sure. I feel
I
like
don't.
it had to have been. I mean, they film in Georgia, and I swear to God that the one picture I saw of some person's, it was a chef's Instagram, some sushi restaurant in Atlanta, and I was like, that background looks really familiar. So, like, if it was in downtown Atlanta or Buckhead, like I've probably been there.
But yeah, maybe they'll, or maybe he'll show up in the anthology series. Who knows? Maybe in the
Yeah.
spinoff.
I mean, well, I guess like I think that they're trying to play it off like Andrew Lincoln is only in the area to like see off the end of the show, but I'm just like, but
But
also
the
I feel
show
like,
isn't. Yeah, it's still going to be quite a while before the show ends, right? The
well,
shooting for the
right.
show.
Well, I mean, I guess it depends, like if they're shooting, I don't know if how old those pictures were, right? Like they're
Hmm.
being posted recently, but that doesn't mean they're from recently. And like maybe that guy that was a chef, they were like, hey, don't post this quite yet, because usually
Hmm.
Walking Dead
Hmm.
does most of their filming in the late spring through like mid fall, or maybe summer through mid fall, which is still nuts to me, like all that clothing in the Georgia summer heat, but fine, whatever. um Especially now that they're in Virginia where there's like actual winter and snow, and we still have yet to really like see anything like that. But anyway, I yeah, I don't know, assuming those photos are from like right now, then or within the past week or something, that's really interesting. I mean, I don't know. I feel like if he was actually going to make an appearance in the show, that they would be putting the kibosh on any sort of media reporting that he's in the area.
Hmm.
So, but I mean, also we don't know for a fact that he isn't here to also work on some stuff for his movies, like not necessarily filming, obviously, but I mean, it could be any number of things, really.
Pre-production, it could be anything. Yeah.
Right, right. Script readings,
Hmm.
I don't know, whatever.
Also, 3 movies, really?
I mean, I can't imagine that there's going to be 3 of them, like, but I don't know, I'm thinking, how could they possibly have 3 movies? Surely they're going to go down to, like, 1 or maybe 2, but this is The Walking Dead, who's dragged the show on for 11 seasons, and the 11th season has how many fucking episodes? 'Cause the first half season was 8. Is this second half of the season also 8? Or
Yeah.
second part
Yeah.
of the season also 8?
It's
So
also
then,
8, and then another 8 or 11, I guess.
uh,
Also, if you think about the movies as episodes, that's like 2 episodes per movie. So 6 episodes, they can do 6 episodes.
yeah, yeah. And I'm
Yeah, it can
wondering,
happen.
since we have to assume that Rick is with,
Michonne?
no, like the not the Commonwealth, the one from the world beyond. I've already just blocked it out of my
Oh
mind.
no.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we might be
We
getting
had 2 entire seasons of those people talking about that place, and we still don't remember the name. Oh no. The
yeah.
CDC. The CDC. No.
No, the CDC.
No.
The
The
Civic
CRM.
Republic.
The
Becca chimes
CRM.
in. Becca CRM. Yeah, Becca chimes in.
The CDC.
listen, listen. Becca says we're wild. She couldn't join us on screen, but she's there in the chat helping us along. Thank you, because I'm telling you, I get literally blocked it out of my mind. I really don't remember what happened in the second season of World Beyond. I just right over my head, don't care. I had to make brain room for other things. Sorry, not sorry.
But
Oh
yeah,
god.
no more news. We didn't get any news about that planned Carol and Daryl spinoff. That's happening for some reason.
Right, and throughout these episodes, every time either one of them appeared to be in quote unquote danger, I was like,
Yeah,
yeah, and I
that's
said
not
it.
happening.
Yeah, I said it to Dean because I guess he didn't know that there was a Daryl and Carol spinoff happening, and I was like, because I said it out loud, like, oh come on, they're not in danger now that they've got like a spinoff that's gonna happen. He's like, wait, what? I was like, I mean, not even spoiler alert. It was all over the news when they announced it. So yeah, as far as I'm concerned, unless that spinoff is going to be canceled, we've already seen all their backstories, right? And then there was a time skip, a 6-month time skip in between episodes 9 and 10, but we're already getting the backstory between those two. So it's like they've got to go forward. So obviously they're gonna live like
Maybe
literally
they could
last people
do.
standing from
They could
original.
do. They could do an old man Logan type thing. Old man Daryl.
I would, yeah, we've already got old woman
Yeah.
with her wig. Her wig is off the charts this season too. It's like half white gray and half like dark gray. Anyway, we'll talk about that
Yeah, the
later.
episodes. Yeah, episodes. Season 11, episode number 9. No other way.
Okay,
It
so
was. Yeah. You start.
I mean, I was just gonna say, like, I did not. Honestly, these 2 episodes were pretty good. They, you know, I feel like I think it was Becca was like, maybe we had to watch so much of the world beyond that we're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think. That you know what? That's what happened. The Walking Dead ended up giving us the worst spin-off ever. And after watching The World Beyond, we think that the actual Walking Dead episodes are serviceable.
Although
That's
to be
what's
fair,
happening.
these were pretty decent Walking Dead episodes
Hmm.
compared even to the last like few seasons of The Walking Dead. So anyway, what were your favorite parts?
I actually like the fact that it took 3 of them to take down Carver. It just made me laugh because Maggie, who was it? Maggie, Isaiah, and Negan. Yeah, those 3 were ready to fight Carver, and Carver was like, "Okay, okay, it's your funeral," and he ended up beating all 3 of them. It just made me laugh.
Yeah, I mean, I, the fact that he was in a hallway, and I guess if what is the Maggie's friend, the guy who's a really good fighter, what is his name?
Elijah?
Elijah. Okay, sorry.
Mhm,
I mean, if Elijah hadn't had a broken injured leg, he might have held his own a
mhm,
lot better.
mhm,
And
mhm.
between
Yeah,
with him, let's say he's like 70% capacity of what this other guy could do. Between him and Negan and Maggie cornering this guy, it might have been.
it could have worked. It could have worked. Yeah, but no, he was injured. He was injured, and Negan doesn't know how to fight hand to hand. He doesn't
No,
know.
no, no. Also, he's got like weak old man upper body now, so
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, Negan, you're too old. You're too old to be doing this.
what was up with what was up with the wounds on the side of his face? Like, what was that? Because I feel like I might have missed something or didn't. Was it
Sharpnel from the exploding
okay?
arrows, the exploding Hwacha.
Okay. I was that from episode 8, maybe? Because if that's the case, that's why I was like, what the? Like,
From
okay,
episode number 9, right? When the Hawacha, they fired the Hawacha, and people started exploding. The zombies started exploding. Some of the
okay,
Reapers started exploding. I think that's when Negan got injured.
okay. It just looked really.
Mm-hmm,
It looked like he had like bugs, like spiders laying eggs in the side of his face or something. It looked weird. Maybe the makeup just wasn't good. I don't know. It was very. They were very like dark. Like blood when it dries is not that dark, but okay, whatever, whatever.
yeah. And
Um,
the other scene that I liked was Aaron climbing the pipe. I was like, climb that pipe, Aaron, climb it.
I'll talk about the Aaron stuff in a minute.
And yeah, my favorite moment from the entire episode was Maggie killing them. I was like, yes, Maggie, yes. Shoot them down, shoot them down. And yeah, those people ended up destroying her community, stealing their food, kicking them out, hunting them down. There was literally no option for peace or forgiveness because you know that Leah, what's her name? Leah, right? Leah was
Yeah,
going to come back. She was going to come back for revenge. So I was okay with Maggie killing everyone, especially after how Rick stopped her from killing Negan. I was like, no, you don't stop other people from taking revenge, especially when they've lost their loved ones. You don't stop them.
yeah, yeah. And also, this isn't just one person. At the end, Negan was the only one left, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this isn't just Negan. This is, Leah and Carver, who I guess they've got prisoner for, who knows how long. But I, and these other two dudes, I don't even remember their names, but yeah, I don't, it's not even just a revenge thing. Like, what are y'all doing? These people are, yeah, goodbye. Like Gabriel, that moment when he was like, maybe Dean and I are sitting there just like, just fucking kill him, man. Like, please tell me he's not going to let this guy live. And then he
Mm-hmm.
just like, right in the stomach.
Yeah, I like that too. I like that too, especially because he allowed that guy, right? He didn't shoot him when he first met him in the forest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I think that was more just, uh,
strategy
yeah,
or
because did he
something. Yeah.
meet him? No, he was like, Gabriel was sneaking around in the trees, and the guy was like out in kind of like the open or whatever. And I don't think it would have been a good idea for Gabriel to rush out into the open
Mhm.
where he might be seen by other people, whatever. I think he played that right. I don't think that was hesitancy really on his part. It was weird that the guy was like, "Yeah, I totally knew you were there." I'm like, okay, dude. I mean, he did. Clearly, he did because he only would have known he was there if he'd known he was there. But
Mhm, mhm.
uh, but speaking of Gabriel, while I was a little bit like, "Oh man, come on, just kill this guy," when he, like, first of all, yes, good riddance to those assholes, to Leah's crew. I still am kind of like, Daryl letting Leah live seemed a bit that maybe this is a bad idea going forward. Will she come back for revenge? She better not kill Dog eventually or something. But when Gabriel, like, holy shit, Gabriel, whenever, Leah's like calling up to her sniper, I don't remember his name, and she's like, shoot him, about Elijah, because he was like stumped. First of all, why? Like, he's clearly not even able to hold himself upright, like,
Revenge,
yeah,
Tara.
but
Revenge.
he's clearly not even able to hold himself upright. So why, like, I don't care what your little rule was about, oh, don't take another step. Fuck off. But like, so she's shouting at this sniper who a moment ago was clearly there to
Mhm.
shoot him. And then Gabriel shoots Carver in the leg or whatever. And she's like, "What the fuck? Or what's going on? What's going on?" And Gabriel's like, "You can call me Gabriel." And I was like, "Whoa, badass Gabriel for the win!" Like, remember when Gabriel was the worst back in season, what is it, 5? When
Mhm.
they first met
Yeah.
him, and
Yeah.
like, he's just gotten like progressively better. And like, but that was just like, he snuck up there and took out the sniper and just, I don't know, man. I loved it. I am all here for like murderous priest or pastor, man. He's not a priest because he's not Catholic. So murderous I don't know what they're called if they're not. I don't think it's a pastor. I don't know. He's some religion that wears like the garb but isn't actually a priest. So
Maybe he'll die now. Maybe that's why they're giving him more screen time. They have to start killing people.
I mean, he was in the comics, he dies when Negan's people come around, right? Like when they
Hmm.
have send the horde on
Yeah, he's dead.
Alexandria. So he's kept kicking for a lot longer than he did in the comics. But I honestly I'm not arguing with that. Like, and I didn't care about Gabriel in the comics, but they really have done a good job with his character in the show. And I really like as somebody who was raised in a religious home and who has like not like Gabriel level like started, I'm not going around doing Gabriel shit in this world, but like I like his arc. I think it's just really I hated him at the beginning because of what he did, but that had nothing to do with him being a religious person. That was just him being a shitty person, really, like not
Yeah.
willing to save anybody, whether or not they were his church going people. But yeah, I really like what they're doing with him, what they've been doing with him. So I hope he stays around quite a while longer. And if he does go, I just hope they give him a good end. I don't want him to like die off screen and become a walker, I'll talk about that in a minute. But so yeah, I don't necessarily need him to live out the end of the series, but I do hope that he gets at the very least gets a good death.
Hmm. Yeah. So, any other gripes and what the fuck moments? Yeah, I'm Aaron. He
Well,
kind of.
I didn't go into least favorite moments at
What
all. We didn't.
what did I do? Oh, I scrolled down. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah. No, it's okay.
Yeah,
Well,
least favorite moments.
what were your least favorite ones? Because you don't have any listed in the document, but I know you had to have
I
had
should have
some.
written. Oh, that's what happened. So my what? Yeah, my gripes are basically the least favorite moments. Oh no, I scrolled down. Okay, I get it. So yeah, it basically involves Aaron. Like I liked him getting the screen time, but the screen time that he got, it didn't necessarily make sense. I'm like, how is he able to hear Grace's whistle from so far away during a thunderstorm? How does that work? And also, if Grace ended up blowing a whistle, wouldn't the other walkers also hear it and start walking and start moving towards the house, the basement? How does that work? And the fact that the episode actually cut so that they didn't have to show didn't have to show how Aaron was able to jump from that basement window and knock the zombie in the face. Like that's not physically possible. And the episode just cut there. And then when it came back, Aaron was in Aaron was in the air and he ended up smashing the zombie's face down. I was like, how? What's he doing?
Yeah. So my least favorite moments are very similar. Like everything about Aaron in the basement. Like first of all, who is he? Fucking Bucky Barnes. Like just because he has a metal arm does not mean he has the strength to crush a walker's head between the metal arm and his other, between the
Hmm.
metal, whatever. It's not even a hand, is it really? It's like I don't even remember what's at the end of his metal arm thing. But what? You're not Bucky Barnes, man. You can't just do that. And then when he was like, you mentioned him like crawling along the pipe earlier, and I was just like, ugh, because seeing him crawl along that pipe, like I know it's not the same, obviously, but all I was thinking of was that Simpsons episode where they have a pig and Homer's walking it along the ceiling and he's like, Spider Pig does whatever a Spider Pig does. I was like, how the fuck? How he escaped that whole situation is still just
Yeah.
beyond me.
How did he catch Lydia's rope, the rope that Lydia threw him? How did he tie it to a pipe? And how did he use the rope to get out of the basement window? How? Like
I
physics left the room during that episode, and even the writers didn't know. And
yeah.
that's why they didn't even show the scenes. It was like Aaron's here, and the next second he's here. How?
Oh my god, I love you.
Using his queer magic, he's like, "Move, I'm gay." The meme. There's a meme, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a gay guy walking towards the photocopier, and he's like, "Move, I'm gay." And Aaron was like to the walkers, "Move," and they just moved out of the way.
I love the like physics left the room during that episode. I don't know. Physics left the basement during that episode, and the writers were like, whatever. Oh gosh. So was that your
Yeah, those were my least favorite moments. Yeah.
okay?
Okay.
So what were your other gripes then?
The same as yours. The Alden thing, like, really? I mean, I kind of expected that it was going to happen to Alden, but it was off screen, and I didn't appreciate it being off screen.
Yeah, I mean, when they left him in that, was it a church or something?
Church, yeah, a church.
When they left him in that church, it was like, unless he gets, how badly injured was he? I don't even remember, honestly.
No, he got attacked, right? There was a Reaper in there. There was a fight. Alden fought a Reaper, and then both of them died.
Okay.
That's what
Didn't
happened. A Reaper found him in the church. Both of them fought. Both of them died. And
in
that's
that
why they were in the church. And that's what everything happened off screen. And that's why
right,
when Maggie
right.
came back to the church, there was a zombie Reaper and also a
Okay.
zombie Alden.
The lighting was so bad in this episode that for not all of it, but like basically unless they were outside or that one scene in the hallway when they were fighting, the lighting was just so dark that I was like, what is going on? And I'm watching it on a television, so it's like I don't understand why it's so bad in a dark room too. There's nothing shining on the TV. But yeah, the episode was dark. So I was like, I couldn't even tell that the other walker was a Reaper, honestly.
Yeah, the Reaper found Alden. They both fought. And then both of them died and both of them turned.
And it was
So,
all off screen.
yeah, so basically, I think the writers were trying to show that Alden went down fighting. But yeah, Alden's dead. Alden with the good hair, he's dead.
No. I am actually sad about
Mm.
Alden with the good hair being dead. Like, I am.
They
Like,
basically ended up doing an extra of. Did you watch the post episode scenes with
no,
Angela Kang?
no.
Yeah,
So tell me about it.
yeah, she said that they ended up deciding to kill Alden because he was the closest to Maggie. He was one of the saviors. He's been around for quite a while. He has always supported her. And seeing Alden die, that really hit home for Maggie. That even though they ended up defeating the Reapers, it cost too much. It basically cost Maggie all of her people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why they were like, you know what, Alden has to die.
I don't know, man. I like listen, like I know he wasn't a super important character. He wasn't around all that long, but
They could have
I don't
still
know.
done something with him. They could have had him, hook up with Aaron.
I think it was
Have
just
have Aaron climb his pipe or something.
yeah, weren't they like co-parenting Gracie?
Right? Right?
Like who's gonna be Aaron's co-parent now?
Lydia? Who knows? But yeah, they could have paired Aaron up with Alden. It could have happened.
I mean, even beyond that, I don't necessarily disagree. Like he could have been bi. That would have been cool. But
Hmm.
also because he has had a girlfriend. He was with Edith, right? But I also like I just I don't like that. Like, okay, so in the after episode stuff, they were saying that they killed him off because, you know,
As
because
a
like, oh,
cost,
it's
as
so
a price,
yeah.
as a price that
Yeah.
Maggie had to pay. Yeah.
It's I just yeah. So he was I mean, I don't like using the word fridged with like a presumably straight white dude
Hmm.
character, but like The Walking Dead is so like they're just like, it's like they throw names in a hat, sometimes, and that's not. There was no meaning behind his death, especially because it happened off screen. And that's what
Yeah.
I'm mad about, honestly. Like, did I think this kid was gonna last till the end of the series? Probably not. But that that, that kind of death was like, we've known him long enough. At the very least, like, you should have, at the end of last season, gone back to that church for a scene and shown like the start of the fight, or shown you something. Show us something so that we don't just. Yeah, it was bad. I didn't like it and I hated it.
Or
And
maybe the end of the fight. Maybe the end of the fight. That Aaron is gravely injured. Maggie comes to the church. She tries to help him, and Aaron is like, "You know what, Maggie? I did what I had to do. Now kill me. I don't want to turn into a walker. Please kill me. Please do this for me." Like, have him die in front of Maggie if you want to do that. Yeah, the off-screen death, I was like, no, I wasn't a fan of it. Yeah, basically.
but okay. So also, I just, this is just a general, like, Eugene and the Commonwealth people showing up at the very end of this episode, like, super suddenly, right after, the people of Alexandria actually got some food and stuff. It was just very,
Mm-hmm.
like, okay,
Only in TV shows. Only in
convenient.
TV shows.
Like,
Yeah.
I know when last we left Eugene, he was like telling them where his people were and everything, but still. So, I wouldn't even say convenient. It's kind of inconvenient, like, because they just, like, right now, they just got some stuff to sustain them. So, why would they all just immediately jump at the chance to join the stormtrooper brigade?
And that's what happened. Not all of them went to the Commonwealth.
But a lot of them did. I
Mm-hmm.
mean,
Mm-hmm.
like, who didn't, honestly? It's Maggie and Lydia?
Yeah, Maggie, Lydia, Ezekiel, Aaron. Aaron and Grace weren't there.
No, Ezekiel's there.
No, not Ezekiel, my bad. Elijah.
Elijah,
Elijah.
okay.
Yeah,
Or
Elijah.
Reed. Confusing.
It,
You're confusing one of the, like, twa black men on this show, and Gabriel's separate because he's in his priest garb or pastor garb all the time.
Gabriel was in. Yeah, he was in the Commonwealth. So yeah, Elijah, Grace, Aaron, Maggie, and Lydia. These five, they weren't. They didn't go.
And there's probably some other background people too who
Yeah,
we don't give a shit about all.
the redheaded woman with the bow and arrow, she didn't go.
Whoever she is.
Yeah, the one who was fighting alongside Rosita, trying to kill the zombies from coming up
Okay.
the stairs.
Okay.
The tall woman, you don't remember? She's been around for quite a while from the kingdom. She used to
Oh,
work for Ezekiel.
whoa. I didn't, for some reason, I didn't remember her as a redhead. I thought she had, like, I know she has light hair, but I wasn't thinking she was a
Isn't she
redhead.
redheaded?
I don't know.
She looks redheaded to
Her
me.
hair's always pulled back, right?
Mhm,
So
mhm.
it's hard to tell, I think. So I never thought of her as a redhead, but yeah. So yes, I don't remember her name, but I know exactly who you're talking about now that I am not thinking of her as a tall woman from the kingdom. Oh yeah, who always had the armor and everything. I remember her
Mhm,
for sure.
yeah.
So yeah, there's definitely some people who we've known for a while who didn't go, probably also some background characters, but the majority of the main characters did go. So we get to the end of this episode, right? And there's this, like,
6
that, yeah,
months.
there's a 6
Yes.
months later thing, and Daryl's in his stormtrooper armor, walking up, or I don't even know, maybe it's not stormtrooper, maybe it's more like, what are they called in Hunger Games? You know what I'm talking about. They wear that same sort of armor in the Hunger Games, I think, but maybe not full facial, but they have that same sort of plasticky looking crap. But anyway, they show up at the hilltop, and they're like, let us in. And Maggie's like, nah. And Daryl's like, it doesn't have to be this way. And it's like, dude, how are you fighting against Maggie? Y'all have known each other since season 2, however many years ago that was. Like, peacekeeper, Becca says. Thank you, Becca. Peacekeepers from quote
Mhm.
unquote peacekeepers, which it might be what they're called, honestly, in I don't know what they're called in Walking Dead, but in Hunger Games they're peacekeepers. So yeah, same sort of armor. But yeah, so we get this sort of like time jump at the end of the episode. And I was kind of like, are you fucking kidding me? A time jump, another one, really? Like, ugh. But then we go into episode 10. And what was this?
Mhm.
What was episode 10 called? New Haunts.
New hearts. Yeah.
So favorite moments.
The haunted house. It wasn't necessarily my favorite moment. It was just unexpected. I wasn't expecting it.
It's kind of a nod to the comics, isn't it?
Yeah, it happened in the comics, but near the end of the comics.
And it wasn't a haunted house like that though. It was actually what Carl putting walkers on display.
Not yeah, it wasn't necessarily Carl. It was who was it? Herschel. Herschel had a zombie carnival thing
Oh,
going
for some
on.
reason I thought it was Carl, but
Yeah,
whatever. Doesn't
Carl wasn't a
matter.
fan of that. Yeah, Carl wasn't a fan of that. So
Oh,
Carl
okay.
ended up killing the zombie, and that got Carl into trouble because he ended up killing someone else's property.
Well,
So that
that's
yeah, in the comics, yeah,
the whole
zombie is a property. Yeah.
that's a whole different thing I don't want to get into. I feel like I need to finish reading these comics just for the hell of it.
But
But
yeah, the haunted house, it surprised me. I was like, okay, okay. It also made sense because the people in the common world, the kids especially, are very sheltered. So it's kind of nice to have them remember that there are zombies outside and all of that stuff. Let them be scared a bit. So it kind of made sense in my mind. I would have done kind of the same thing. And then the scene where Rosita ended up pulling the walker's leg out and then stabbing the walker with the leg. I was like, okay, Rosita, I'm not really sure where you got the strength from, but okay.
yeah, I'll get into that in a minute.
And then Mercer and Princess, I
That
liked
was
it.
great.
I shipped them.
Yeah, that was great, honestly. And Princess is so like staid now. Like
Hmm.
she's very not the way she was. Like
I mean, she's
she's
still walking around dressed as a princess,
right,
but
she's still a little bit her, but she's very
mhm.
staid.
Because she's
STAID.
around
Let me be
people.
clear.
Yeah, because she's around people now. That's what she wanted. She wanted people. She wanted
Yeah, I mean,
community.
I'm not disagreeing with the changes, honestly. Like, she's always been like, like she's one of those characters. Is like she gets so maddening at times, right? But I've always liked her for just being who she is. But yeah, I really liked that. It was like a what, what? Yeah, yeah. You know, like what? Okay, yeah. I really like this. Like Mercer, and also just him. Like they were like, "There's a dress code." And I'm like, "It's a fucking Halloween party. She's in a costume. She's wearing a dress or a shirt and a skirt." I couldn't really see the whole thing. Like, what about her is because she's not like black tie?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Come
And she has a
on.
crown on. Let her. She was the only one dressed up, basically.
Well, minus the governor who had a mask, I think, at one point, and then maybe took it off later.
Oh, come on.
Uh,
That's not a Halloween costume. A
no, it's
mask.
not.
A
It's
mask.
not. It's not.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did really I liked that moment. I and
I
I
ship them,
also I
and
think
something
it
bad's going to happen to them. I can feel it.
I mean, I'd rather it happen to Mercer than Princess, honestly. Like
Yeah, yeah,
Princess
yeah.
needs to live forever and rule the world. She is a princess, right? So my favorite moment I did really like the Mercer and Princess thing, but since you already had it, I didn't write it down. But Mercer, Carol being Carol, it wasn't even a favorite moment. It was the whole goddamn episode. Carol being Carol, sneaking around, like doing shit she wasn't supposed to.
I love
Like,
it. I love it. When Carol is being Carol, I love it. I'm like, yes, Carol, do that. Cause a mess. Stir the pot. Do it. She
yeah,
is the drama. Yeah.
I just I don't even know how else to describe it. Like, I mean, I know that she's sort of doing it, to try to help Ezekiel, but
I need to charge my laptop. Yeah, keep talking.
But I just the whole thing where she sneaks into the hospital, steals the guard's keys or whatever, gets into the medical records room, which, first of all, why did the rando guard have a key to the medical records room?
I think it was a janitor.
Janitor? Okay, was that who it was? I couldn't tell because it was so, like,
Yeah,
kind of quick. That makes more sense then.
yeah. The janitor
But,
had the keys.
goes
Yeah.
in the medical records room. Thank God she happens to run into only, uh,
Yumiko's brother.
Yumiko's
Yeah.
brother, whose name I don't remember, which he looked rough, man. Did you see his
Yeah,
eyes?
yeah. I was like,
He's
that
like
man is not having getting sleep. Yeah,
he
he's
is like
annoying.
red rimmed. Like, this poor dude just wanted to fucking bake and decorate some cakes. And then his sister, I guess, tattled on him, and now he's
Yeah,
stuck.
yeah. I'm like, go hook up with Aaron, run away.
But yeah, so I just like her Carol sneaking around, and then her also, like, somehow already knowing a way out of the Commonwealth, I guess, because she went to like
Wine
a wine
cellar.
cellar
Yeah.
and got the special wine for. I didn't look at the list, and I meant to actually go back today, and I just, with work, I didn't have time because I watched this yesterday, but I meant to, like, go back and look at the list and see what wines she was trying to get, because I think one of them was like a Chateau Neuf de Pape, and that's kind of like, I guess if it's like a really old one, and like a really good year, like a really good vintage, that's a good wine. But otherwise it kind of seems like the wine that somebody who doesn't know a lot about wine would put on a list like that. Which is hilarious to me. But I didn't get to go back and look, so maybe I will, and later make a comment about it on Twitter or something. But yeah, Carol somehow, like, just Carol doing what she did, like sneaking into the hospital sneaking into the medical records room and getting off property and getting the wine that's needed. And oh God, though, when that whole fucking shelf of wines fell and burst, that was like, well, and also when what's his name, the marketing guy, the spokesperson, dropped that whole crate of
Lance.
wine
Yeah.
in the trash, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? This is still the apocalypse, asshole. Why are you dropping a crate? Like, I don't care that your stupid governor bitch didn't want it. Like, why are you dropping it in? Oh my God. Like, who even? Why? Spoiled ass people. And meanwhile, we've got kids like Judith who've never even tasted cotton candy in their lives.
Mm,
Like, this poor kid's never had, the only cookies she might have ever had is Carol's applesauce cookies, but I don't know if she's even had those, because that was
mm.
when she was like little baby Judith. Anyway, so yeah, Carol being Carol was just the highlight of the episode to me. Just like I was like, face palming a little bit, but also just, of course,
Of
everything's
course, of
fine.
course, of course, she knows how to walk out of the Commonwealth whenever she wants to. Of course, she knows how to sneak away. Of course, she does. She's Carol.
Within 30 days, because that was the way
Mhm.
the episode started, was 30 days,
Mhm.
right? Okay,
The
so
only thing that I didn't like about the scene, it's in my least favorite moment, is the fact that Carol ended up walking into the wine cellar and she didn't even check for walkers first. I was like, really, Carol? Really? And
she's
then
off her
when
game, man. She's worried about
Mhm.
Ezekiel.
And then, as you mentioned earlier, like when she got attacked by the walkers, I was like, yeah, a spin-off is happening. Nothing is going to happen to her. Why are we doing this? There was no need.
Okay, so least favorite moments.
Yeah, that was my least favorite moment. The
Okay,
Carol getting
overall.
attacked. Yeah, Carol getting attacked. Yeah. And then, of course, you
Mine
have that written down too. Of course, it's mine as well.
Mine was everything about the governor's son. I fucking hate this kid, man. He is everything that's wrong with every world that ever has existed.
That,
And
I guess
I
that means that they're doing a good job.
Well, but the thing is, like, I think they're trying in a way to make him uh
Sympathetic a
sympathetic
bit. Yeah.
by like, oh well, his mom never disapproves of everything he does, blah blah blah. Like, I don't care, man. Like he's had it so easy all this time. I, I just don't care. I he's had it so easy. Like after what happened in at the end toward the end of last season where Eugene punched him, right?
Yeah.
Because he was like out on a picnic with some girl and they had like, Eugene and who was with Eugene at the time?
Angel.
Angel.
Stephanie, not Angel. Was it Angel or Stephanie? Eugene's girlfriend.
Oh, it was Stephanie. I think it might have been
Stephanie.
Stephanie.
Yeah.
Who is conspicuously absent, by the way. But yeah, yeah, when they were out there doing whatever they were doing, clearing walkers or something. I can't remember, but like, yeah. And this guy brings this girl out for a picnic and they're not paying attention to their surroundings and they get attacked, whatever. This kid has just been, he is just, and now he hates Daryl, or he hated Daryl until other stuff. You know, he hated Daryl until Daryl helped him out a little bit in this episode, which we'll get into in a minute. But the whole thing is maddening. And also it's kind of a really overdone storyline. But I think the thing that's most maddening to me about it is like, don't try to make this dickhead sympathetic. Don't do it. Like, he is a privileged piece of shit. Even in this world, actually in this world especially, he is a privileged piece of shit. Don't try to make me sympathize with him. Kiss my ass. Anyway, other gripes and what the fucks. See, I disagree with you on the Walker haunted house. It bothered me. It felt like, I just feel like if you're going to have a haunted house, have these things, some of these things do exist in this world. Have Frankenstein, have, you know, Michael Myers, like some of these things have to exist in this world, right? The guy from Psycho, I don't watch horror movies, honestly, so I don't know all their names, but you know, have characters from properties that actually exist rather than try to scare people with what actually exists in the real world is what bothered me, I think, the most about it. And I get that the people in the Commonwealth don't see these things on a day-to-day basis. Obviously, they're very, very sheltered, but the fact that it was, you know, Daryl and was it Judith and
AJ?
AJ? I was gonna call him Reggie for some reason. I have no fucking idea why. His name is Reggie from now on.
Reginald. Yeah. Reginald Grimes.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's terrible. Judith and Reginald. AKA AJ. Yeah. Oh God. That was just kind of like, oh, really? Really? Because honestly, like, especially Judith, like, I can't believe she wasn't like, like trying to like immediately like punch these guys or something. Too much. But so that was just kind of, it's like I didn't hate it, but I just do something, do better, because I think it also would have been more fun for them to try to make I guess they probably couldn't reference things that aren't in public domain, but there are plenty of things that are. Jack the Ripper, again, Frankenstein, Dracula, exactly. Reference monsters that exist in this world, but in, you know, literature, etc. And so
maybe they don't. That's why they're calling zombies walkers.
Oh,
maybe
RJ,
these things don't exist.
Becca says his name is RJ, so it's
Reginald.
It is Reginald. That's why I thought Reggie. Thank you, Becca, for being just chilling in the background, giving us the answers to all of our questions. She's like goddess right now.
The oracle. Yeah. Reginald Joseph Grimes. Yeah.
Oh Lord. Okay, so shit, where was I? So you're right. Maybe those things don't exist, but zombies, especially Now I'm fucking blanking on the guy who like really started the whole zombie craze back.
Carpenter.
No, but whatever.
Uh,
But that's a thing. Like a lot of zombies might not have existed the way we think of them now in this world, but I still think that properties like or not part, but you know what I mean, like creations, monsters like Frankenstein and well, I mean, and Jack the Ripper was a real fucking person, man. Like they're, I just did, you know, I get why they did what they did, and I do think it was kind of a nod to the comics, probably because they know they're not going to get that far in the story. But still, so that's why it's not a hate thing, but more just a gripe. I'm also not with you on Rosita being able to break off the walker's leg and then use Pokebone to kill it. Like, first of all, how are you so strong? Like, it's one thing to snap the leg, right? To stomp on it and break it. It's another thing to rip the whole entire end of the limb off. And it's another thing for this, like, you know, what was it, like a 3 or 4 inch pokey bone? Like, yeah, that's got it. That's got it in the brain. I got that through the skull and everything. And listen, I know this is just Walking Dead and the way it's been for a long ass time, but I didn't like it.
She's strong, Tara. She's
she's real
strong.
strong. Yeah,
She's strong. She's strong.
she's
Yeah.
fucking Captain
Eating horse
Marvel.
jerky. Yeah, she's eating horse jerky. She's strong.
Aaron
Rosita is
is,
Captain Marvel. Aaron is the Winter Soldier.
yeah, exactly. There you go.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
She's Wonder Woman, really,
Mm-hmm.
with her lasso of truth. Actually, that tracks considering. Uh, so the rebellion.
Yeah, that's the theory. That of course there's a rebellion, and I think that Rosita is going to change sides.
Yeah, I think I don't even think that's like it is a theory at this point for sure, but yeah, that's obvious that that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like,
She also had that little conversation with Magda in the kitchen,
mhm.
and she was like, "Yeah, yeah, Rosita's going to change sides. I think Mercer might end up changing sides as well."
I think he's going to be one of those ones that fights it until the end, like is probably on the wrong side until like right before he dies. And then he probably like what I'm thinking is that he's going to die doing something like for the other side, basically. Like
Mm-hmm.
he's going to be on the wrong side, on the wrong side, on the wrong side, and then bam, like a switch goes off, and that's how he goes. Uh, just literally total theory, like out of the blue. I don't like that's just my thought, and I think like just comments that he's made both to Daryl and then also the thing he's got going with I feel like he's so serious and and she is so princess, and I'm just like I just
Now kiss.
yes nuggets.
Also, I'm okay with Negan getting written out. I'm okay with it. If I don't ever see Negan, I'll be okay with it.
I feel like he's gonna come back,
I mean,
like,
of course he is, but
and actually
here's
we
to
didn't talk
hoping.
about that at all, that he just was like, yep, going off on my own, bye.
Yeah.
Because I guess I didn't really think anything of it.
Yeah, because he was like, you know what, Maggie? I know that you're going to break your promise one day and you're going to kill me. I know that's going to happen. So, bye.
Bye. Bye forever. But I do think he's going to come back. Like I actually picture him just kind of being like a creeper, like he's keeping an eye on things because that's what he does, right? Like he can't be part of it, but that doesn't mean that he's not gonna stay close, right? And I imagine him keeping an eye on things and like swooping in for like one. I don't think he's gonna live, right? I think he'll die before the
Mhm.
end of the series, but I do think there's I can't imagine them spending that long with this character and never showing him again. So I do think at the very least, if even if they don't do like a whole like we're gonna do a Negan centric episode where we show what he's been up to, because that's probably gonna happen. Because it is Jeffrey D. Morgan and like they're paying the guy money. So, but like even if they don't do anything like that for some reason, pretty sure they will. I do see him swooping in to like do something big at one point, and that's that's how he goes. I don't think he's just gonna disappear. I mean, and honestly, like I'm okay with that. Like I feel like they've kept him around this long that maybe it'll.
I have a feeling they might end up doing something weird. I think Negan is going to encounter the Commonwealth. He's going to do something bad. He's going to run away, and Maggie is going to be the one who's going to protect him. And that's why Daryl came to the hilltop.
Well, that's a deep dive theory.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. That Maggie is going to be the one who's going to protect Negan.
Interesting. I mean, he did save her life after also leaving her for dead, though.
Yeah, in the comics, the governor's son dies, so hopefully he'll die in this show too. Here's to hoping. The mayor's son, yeah.
I can't imagine him living. Like he's the worst. But like, not only is he the worst, he's also really fucking dumb. Like,
and also you talking about Stephanie not being in the episode. Apparently, for in the upcoming episode, the preview is like she has disappeared, and Eugene is trying to find her.
Right? Yeah. But it was just so weird to me that it's like, well, and also, I mean, Eugene wasn't really around in these episodes either. So, before we like go on to like our closing things, I did want to just so Ezekiel knowing like that he might not know how far down that list he is, but I think he knows, he obviously he knows he's ill, and I think he does know that he's gotten the help he's going to get, and the chances of him getting what he really needs aren't that great. He's not stupid, right?
Yeah.
And that's clear by, first him trying to give the box of Henry's stuff to Carol.
Yeah.
But that was kind of one of those like, okay, whatever. Like, I guess it's supposed to be moving. What was moving to me was Shiva's collar.
Yeah.
And
giving
the fact
it to one
that
of Jerry's kids.
Jerry and his kid were both dressed up in tiger stuff, and his kid had the collar. And I was just like, you know what? The show like does not make me emotional anymore, but that made me emotional, probably because it involved an animal. Like and it's like it would be like me being like, here, nephew or niece, is my dog Wendy, who passed away's collar. Wendy is like my heart dog, like the dog that meant more to me than any other dog in my life ever will, to be completely honest, as much as I love my dogs now and everything. Like, here's Wendy's collar. Like, I can't imagine giving that up. And I think I only would give it to somebody if I was dying. So, and I knew I was dying. So yeah, that it was sweet. It was cute. The whole thing was cute, but also it was just like heart-wrenching.
So is he going to take it back if he survives?
Ezekiel's not surviving. But also, I mean, no.
He's like, give it back.
And I also think, it was one of those like, well, Jerry saved the collar from from the hilltop when it burned and everything. From Hilltop, right?
That's Hilltop.
Okay, when Hilltop burned, Jerry saved the collar for Ezekiel, and that's his kid, and he's just passing on a legacy. And they don't really have much of a legacy in this world either. So I really thought that was a well-written scene. Like I loved everything about that, and I so rarely say anything like that about The Walking Dead that I think it was like imperative to mention it, but yeah. So on that note,
recommendations.
Marvelous Mrs. Maisel just came back on Friday for season 4.
Or yeah.
It is amazing. This show is amazing. And I mean, listen, I was a Gilmore Girls fan going way back, and it's the same creators, the Paladinos, and I've loved Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. I love the aesthetic. I love like I didn't grow up in New York City. Obviously, I grew up in Connecticut, but like I know enough. I was right there, like right by New York City, and know a lot of people who grew up there and everything. I love everything about this show, and I love the 50s, like not the lifestyle per se, but the fashion. And I love all of that so much. And it's so funny and clever and well written. So if you haven't watched Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, I highly suggest that. Especially they did also announce that it's ending with season 5. So currently you've got season 4 airing. So if you've never watched it, you've got 3 seasons to watch. And then by the time you're done with those 3 seasons, they'll be halfway or more through season 4, probably. Um, I haven't really watched. I did watch Inventing Anna on Netflix, which was interesting.
How was it? I haven't watched it yet.
I mean, listen, it wasn't like some amazing show or anything, but I think the fact that I watched it on the tail of the Tinder Swindler documentary was like imperative, because it was like, oh, I just watched this documentary on this guy that swindled a lot of people out of money just because he's a piece of shit. And then you watch this show it's a Shonda
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 Rhimes.
Rhimes
Yeah.
production, and I like Shonda Rhimes. So I the music is great. I will say that Anna Klomsky, I think is her name, the girl from the My Girl movies, who plays like the journalist who kind of is covering the whole story. She wasn't great, but the and the girl who plays Anna Delsky, whatever the fuck her name is, her accent drove me fucking crazy throughout the whole movie. It was like it was basically like they were trying to get this girl to be like, okay, so you're Russian, but you need to impersonate a German accent. And it was just bad on all ends. Her accent was goddamn terrible. But the show as a whole, it was very interesting. It draws you in, because there's like so many levels, and you're kind of like, well, shit, maybe she was a scam artist, maybe she wasn't, maybe she was, maybe she wasn't. And I think the I don't want to spoil it, but in the end, I think it's surprising to get to the end and kind of come to the realizations one should come to when watching it. So is it the best show I've ever watched? Absolutely not. But it's creepy and fun, and it's a lot of things. I liked it. I didn't love it, but I liked it. And I think that if you're into like if you've watched The Tinder Swindler and you liked The Tinder Swindler and you want something that's a little bit less real, this is good. They definitely had to have planned the release of these 2 things, honestly.
Maybe possibly. Yeah, the actual girl who is Anna, like the real person,
Mhm.
she ended up getting paid like $300,000 for this. I was like, okay, mess around with people and get paid for a TV show to be made
Only
about you.
$3,000
Three
though?
hundred, $300,000.
Oh, 300,000. I think you said 3,000. I was like,
No, $300,000.
whew. Honestly, I hope that I she probably should have gotten paid more. I know that they kept saying like this story is based on a real thing, but it's like also completely fake. And I tried to look it up, and it is very vague, how close it might actually be. But it's still, yeah. If you liked The Tinder Swindler, I definitely suggest watching it. And when
My
I say
recommend
like The Tinder Swindler, I mean like if you're both maddened, disgusted, but also intrigued by it.
my recommendation is Saved by the Bell, the reboot. Season number 2 recently ended. Watch it. This is how you end up doing a reboot and a sequel. It has like a very high fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes. It's awesome. Did you watch Saved by the Bell? the
Oh yeah,
original series.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's basically a continuation of that with their kids, and the original series is all, and the original cast is all grown up. It's queer inclusive. It's self-aware. It has meta commentary. It's like it's just so much fun. Amazing,
I
awesome, awesome comedy show.
honestly didn't know they were doing a reboot. Or maybe
Yeah,
I
it's so
did. Maybe
good.
I did, and I didn't know it had actually started happening yet. That might have been what it was.
Yeah, go watch it. It's so much fun, and seeing the original cast coming back, it's just like it's fun. It's very very fun. So activities and cons, Tara. You have stuff.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk about this because even though it was last week, my my zombie apocalypse novel was published 5 years ago last week on it was February 17th, 2017. And it's called How to Start Living in the Zombie Apocalypse. And it is when I started writing it, which was for National Novel Writing Month in 2013, I was super into Walking Dead at that point. It is not anything like The Walking Dead at all. But I was just super into The Walking Dead, and this was prior to the thing is that there's been this whole like phase, right, where Walking Dead started and it was so popular. And then for a while, like a few years ago, there was this sort of saturation of just maybe it was just bad zombie media, right?
That's
And
zombie
it was
media.
like and
Yeah.
way too much of it. And then recently there's been, kind of a pullback in that what has become available in terms of new stuff outside of The Walking Dead and its fucking spinoffs has been really good. Like, what is it? All of Us Are Dead, the Korean show, was fucking
Yeah, on Netflix.
crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd suggest it because it's the teen angst drama, like just whatever.
Mm.
It's over the top, but it was pretty good. And then we had the Army of the Dead movie that came out this summer. Not great, but like at the same time, it's like even with these things that maybe aren't necessarily amazing, I feel. I mean, Black Summer, the season 2 of Black Summer came out this past summer. We also covered it on here. So if you haven't seen that, it's episode 35 of The Bitching Dead. But yeah, like anyway, so it's very different from all of that. But it was my 5th anniversary of its publication last week. So I went through this whole week-long thing. I wrote a prequel chapter. I wanted to write a second prequel chapter, but I had my COVID booster shot last week and it kicked my ass for several days. So I didn't get to finish the second prequel chapter, at least not in terms of feeling like it was ready to go on my website. But yeah, I did a whole bunch of content for it. And I don't know. I can't believe it's been 5 years since I published a book. I've been working on about 10 different things for the past several years. And I am constantly jumping from one thing to another and never finishing it. But I think that focusing on this book for that 1 week just made me kind of feel like, okay, you know what? I am ready to like really finish something. So it was
Mhm.
nice. And also, I don't know, it was fun to go back and kind of relive the experience of publishing this book 5 years ago because I had a previous book that I'd put out, but and that previous book was kind of it was more of a personal thing that I never expected to go anywhere. But this one I'm really, really proud of. So yeah, look it up on Amazon stuff. How to Start Living in the Zombie Apocalypse by T.L. Walker. Anyway, and then in April, my convention, which is the next convention I'm going to, and the only convention I'm going to this year, probably besides Dragon Con in August or over Labor Day, Ice and Fire Con. So we've been hardcore working on that. And if you're a Game of Thrones, Song of Ice and Fire fan, check it out, iceandfirecon.com, at Ice and Firecon across all social media. And just FYI, tickets are currently $125. Sorry, not sorry. That's the price they've been since the price went up in 2020, and we've had to postpone it several times. They go up to $150 on March 1st. And we also are capping attendance, and we only have about 55 or 58 tickets left, something like that. So yeah.
Also, you guys cover everything Game of Thrones, right? You will be covering the prequel series.
I mean, as much as we have for it. I don't think it's going to be
Mhm.
released before the convention this year, but for sure we'll definitely have some. If it's not, which I'm pretty sure it won't be, we'll have some stuff about speculation and everything for
Mhm,
sure.
mhm,
And we are more book oriented, but
mhm.
it's still it's a lot of fun. We do a lot of really crazy fun things. So I'm very excited to be back in person for the first fucking time since 2019. It'll have been 3 years.
3 years. Yeah. The pandemic really did it. Yeah.
Hmm. So what about you? Anything coming up for you?
Yeah. Nothing.
No.
Yeah.
All right. Well, on that note, this has been Tara and Fareed bitching about stuff and things with the Bitching Dead. Thank you again for joining us. Please follow the Bitching Dead and the Geeky Area on Twitter. Remember, we are a free webcast run off of donations from viewers like you. Thank you for contributing and helping our host site, the Geeky Area. Have a lovely night. Goodbye.